All right, let's come back together. Again, don't mean to rush, but I'm rushing. Was there any group or person who wants to share with us what a contrasting statement might be for the scenario I read, that A, someone's becoming snippy during your interactions, and you need to create some healthy boundaries in order to kind of engage in the work moving forward? Anyone want to take the plunge? This group will affirm you. I'm just going to put that out there. You will? Okay.
Our statement is, I don't understand what I've done to upset you, but I do know that I would like to listen and understand your concerns so that we can work together to move forward in a positive manner.
Offer affirmation in any way you see fit. So I don't understand, I'm not sure kind of where this is coming from, but I do want to work better to understand what's happening because I know we need to have a strong relationship moving forward. So acknowledging kind of the snippiness and what's my role in this? How can we engage and work together? Great. What about for others with A? Yes, thank you.
So we said, I don't know if maybe there's some personal issues that you may have been having lately, but I do want you to know that I am available if you need to talk about anything because it has been reflecting in your work.
Yeah, so again, recognizing the behavior, you can say, I do want to make sure that we're kind of continuing to work together. I'm noticing an impact to your work, and what I don't want to do is continue to kind of see that impact happen in our relationship. So addressing kind of the both and the and. How did this feel for people, again, just speaking from scenario A, to kind of break down or try to identify what's the don't, what's the do? Okay.
I always would say, I don't know if this is set in stone, I always like to flip it.
Okay.
I always like to start off with a positive, and then before I go into So I do value you, and the time we spent together, the work that you produced. I don't like the way things have been going lately, and I want to see that change. So I always like to start off with positive, all right? Don't implies negativity. So I always try and start off with something positive about the way the person has been performing, before I bring up this area that I'm concerned with.
Yeah. And especially if you're kind of leading with a conversation, to start that way is certainly appropriate. If you're kind of in that moment of like responding to behavior, it can be like I'm acknowledging what I'm seeing is being presented to me, but it's, I think, a matter of style. What you want to get to is like, let's readdress this, let's re-engage, and however that kind of formula works for you, I think that's your kind of style. What about for B? So this is kind of the flip of this. So you've been working with someone on projects, everything's roughly going well, but lately you don't feel like you're being treated fairly, miss some deadlines. The supervisor kind of missed your deadlines, but demand that you keep your original commitment, which made things even tighter. Things are happening more and more, and it's getting frustrated. You want to kind of bring it up, but you're afraid that it's not going to be listened to or heard if you bring this directly kind of to the manager or to the team leader. What did some groups get to as far as a contrasting statement there? Yeah, I'll try. I love it. Listen to that mindset. Okay.
I do understand the compressed time of our operation here, but I don't want to feel like I'm behind the 8 ball by being compressed by indecisions.
Awesome, thank you. So I do kind of understand where we're coming from, this compressed timeline, the need to get things done. I don't want kind of my work to then be reflected as being rushed or not what the team needs. Perfect. And again, you're thinking about what's my role, how can I contribute here, and how do I reset the conversation? Great. How comfortable-ish do people feel with this? Okay. You're feeling the Friday afternoon. That's fair. Okay, so I have one last skill for you. Again, this comes from that Crucial Conversations, and something that from that training that has always stuck with me is if you don't talk it out, you will act it out. Whoa. The end. Okay. I think that's so important. So think about people, behavior, what you're seeing, and then maybe some of those relationships where you need to have one of these contrasting statements. So if you don't talk it out, you will act it out. and I have lived that at work and at home. Again, another reason why I recognize how important it is to engage versus not engaging, because then there's impact in ways that are not beneficial for anyone. So last skill, and then we're going to move on to some other kind of more specific content for HFC from ARA and others. So positions and interests. So on your table, I love it. There was an orange. Some folks have eaten it. I think that is awesome. I was waiting to see. You're a very healthy person. It's great. It's great. Wonderful use of the orange. Yeah, here, you want some more? Yeah. Some tables have one, some tables have two. And some have none? Okay, there you go. Pretend you have an orange at your table. So if I were to say to you, or there's two people at your table, maybe just one, who's like, no, I want this orange, no, I want this orange. Maybe at your table you have 8 people, you only have 2 oranges. How might you split up and divide this orange? What would be some initial strategies? And you can just like yell it out. So it might say, hey, who likes oranges? Those people can then get the orange. You might say, I'm sorry, there's no oranges, I ate them. Too bad. What about some other things? Some people say peel it and split it. Okay, oranges have like multiple segments. There's multiple people here. Everyone gets a slice of this orange. Who is willing to pay for it? The oranges are closer to my chair. I'm willing to give them to you for a price. Or, hey, let's all go out and buy some oranges so that everyone can have one. Any other strategies for dividing up these oranges? Would you mind saying more about asking your question of like, hey, does anyone like oranges?
If people at the table don't like oranges and you're the only one that likes orange, then they'll be more than willing, like, oh, go ahead and take them. I mean, but if somebody likes an orange, then it becomes a discussion between you and that person.
So by asking a question, we can kind of get to a different level of understanding. So does anyone like oranges is a great question to ask. If some people are like, no, I'm good, other people can have it. If some people are like, actually, that's the only thing I eat and enjoy, I didn't bring any other snack with me today, then that person can have all the oranges, potentially. I share this activity, again, because I think this is a really nice way to like see conflict resolution work in the process, is because an orange represents these different positions and interests. And so I put these kind of on the slide as well, is that our positions are really a stand someone takes. So like literally a position. So the what? I want an orange. I'm hungry. I need that orange. The interest is really the need or the concern or the goal behind that. So perhaps it's I want the orange. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. My why is really important because I need to get through my day and I need nourishment. So the why and the what are a little bit different. The classic story with the orange, let's say you were a staff member, you had 2 students you're working with, or a parent with 2 children, and they were fighting over the orange. One may want to actually eat the orange, so you could peel it and they could eat the contents, and the other might want to say, no, I'm actually baking something for this class I have to do, or I want to share something with my colleagues at work, and I need kind of the zest or the rind for this. So both needs can be met if we had just stopped to say, so why? What's going on for people related to this orange? So everyone can kind of roughly have what they need or want in that situation versus just assuming, oh, so you want the orange, you like oranges, we only have 2 people get the orange. Just an example. I think I'm going to leave that there because we're going to talk to some campus partners and then share another resource. So before you leave, make sure that you get this hot off the press, straight from Ara in her office, Henry Ford College Conflict Resolution Guide. It does talk a little bit about positions versus interests, which I have roughly alluded to with the orange example, as well as feelings, nonviolent communication, recognizing needs and different styles. This is a really helpful tool to, I think, just keep with you, to review, or as like a prep for maybe a challenging conversation that you or others are about to engage in. I think, again, sometimes with dialogue and conflict work, people think, oh, I'm a leader, like I can just do this. Some people can just do that. Other people prep, and they work, and they try, and they figure it out. Again, because I do conflict resolution work does not mean that my life is without conflict, and I don't make mistakes a lot. But I keep coming back, I keep trying, and I try to understand better what's happening for folks, what's the context, and what's my role in all of those situations. So with that, I will leave you in the hands of your other Henry Ford College partners, and very much appreciate just your attention and investment in our series of activities.
So before we do the Hawk Talks, I wanted to reiterate a few things that we spoke about earlier regarding our environment. So my entourage over there, I'm just kidding, Campus Safety is here, and I asked them to be here for several reasons, but the first reason is before we do the Hawk Talks, which you don't know what that is, but it's basically a shout out. The Hawk Talks, I was not here when they were introduced, but from what I gather, is one way by which we express appreciation for someone who's been instrumental, whether it's in our workday or has been doing a really good job or did an act of kindness of some sort. And I'm going to tell you that we have over 12,000 students. We have over 1,000 employees. And that makes for a lot of conflict. However, according to our clear statistics, we had 7 clearly reportable statistics. I had, give or take, just about maybe 200 incidents last year. And the incidents that I deal with are not necessarily your most egregious type. As you know, they're conflict and conflict resolution, things that sometimes we have to sort out. The most extreme ones are when someone needs help, mental help, with anxiety, etc. This is all to say that we have a very safe campus. And I didn't want to say that because I wanted Mallory to really expand on where we're going as a campus, but then also to really give you the information that you need about how to report, but most importantly, to really commend our campus safety staff, because if I am a ratio of 13,000 to 1, they astronomically are responsible for a lot more things than me, and yet we still have a very safe campus. One of the things that I wrote down was data and about our environment, for some of us, really shapes how safe we feel. Well, the data indicates that we have a very safe campus. I acknowledge that, again, safety is relative, and what makes us safe and think that we're safe and comfortable is different. But, so I want you to please take that in the back of your mind. And then certainly I appreciate them very much, because I could not do my job without them. I'm gonna give the mic for them. Yes. So where we're going, before I let, is it gonna be Reggie or whomever? Did I call you out? Reggie looks like a bus just hit him. So whomever can explain, I don't wanna say what their role is and how they wanna convey what they do for us, for them, but what we just handed out really is hot off the press. It was printed this morning. And our Student Code of Conduct added this as an option for our students, which is conflict resolution. And it's an opportunity to have a growth mindset outcome to our incidents that are reported. And I do encourage you to maybe even between you and your departments. Again, I invited myself to your reflection days. We can come. Karen and I have gone to different departments and really sat down and explained how reporting is done, situational issues that happen, and how we would encourage you to approach them. We can still do that. I want to reiterate that as an opportunity for us to communicate with you. And lastly, I want to encourage you to look at this, and this is basically one of the new Student Code of Conduct options for addressing behavior on campus. Without further ado, I want them to kind of give you a little synopsis of why I think they're awesome. Who's going to do it? It's you. We're all looking at you. Look at you. With an Emmy award performance, here's Reggie.
Campus safety is really important, and we care about everyone in this room. We care about everyone on this campus. We look out for everyone in this room, and we look out for everyone on this campus. To me, we are a family, whether you realize it or not. We work together, and if we're working together, we can strive together, right? So that's what we're all about. Campus safety, we're here to help you, and you can help us help others, all right? I always tell you all to keep that telephone number in your phones. Do it. We're here to reach out to you because we want this campus to be safe. And I believe we are one of the safest campuses in the state of Michigan. And now I'm going to give you back into the hands of Autumn.
Well, with that, our program is nearly over. Holly and Chad are going to help us with the Hawk Talks. And Lorraine wanted to provide you some updates about, are you still going to do that? About how to access the data from these last trainings. But can we do Hawk Talks first? Or what do you want to do? Do them last? Okay, Lorraine, you want to come up? I put the URL. Thank you, Campus Safety.
I just wanted to show you all firsthand here how to access all of the materials that are stored in the Office 365 team folder that is dedicated to the student services training. So from the home page, if you haven't done this already, from the home page, you're going to go to your employee portal, and you're going to log in. And up in the top right-hand corner over here, when this loads, you'll see Office 365 files. You're going to click on that. And you're going to put in, if you've not signed in to Microsoft Office 365, you'll put in your Henry Ford email address. And for me, I have other accounts within this, so I'm going to go to my Worker School account. And this is going to take me to our organizational account. Now, when the college adopted Microsoft Office 365, they created an account for every single one of us. So you're already set up. So all you need to do is access it. And this is really all there is to it. This will open up with all these applications. You want to click on Teams. And our team is called Student Services Training. You'll click on that. And then this first page that pops up are all the conversations related to training. So if you have posted something here, or made a comment, or YouTube videos that were presented, the lollipop video that Dr. Herb shared, trainings, video trainings from previous Fridays are also here. So everything that you want to convey or share with us as a training team or communicate across the board, you can do that there. I think Holly mentioned in our first training, it's not Facebook, but you're welcome to make comments and suggestions related to this activity. And then if you click on Files, all of the materials, the handouts, anything related to training is listed right here. So our schedule, the agenda from the first training on September 7th, the bingo game that we played, information from the summit that we had 2 weeks ago, and all those sorts of things. Now, my team also has access to this, so anything that you want to add to files, feel free to do that. Today's training video will be uploaded by the first of the week. We are still waiting on some minutes and some report outs from our academic affairs, student affairs summit from Patty and Denise. So as soon as those are available, they'll be loaded into files as well. Sarah?
Log out, I mean, when I first signed up, after one day I just hit the X, but every morning that my computer turns on,
It pops up?
so it, and I click on the X, but apparently there's more to do.
I'll check with IT. I'm not having that experience myself. And I have selected to stay, you've selected to stay in, logged in always. So that's probably why. Yep. Okay? All right, thank you.
Okay, my turn. We just have a few housekeeping items. One, I want to say, I'm sorry, I forgot the hand sanitizer. So it was on my desk, but I had to get the basket for the chocolate. So chocolate or hand sanitizer. So I'll make sure it's here next time. A couple of housekeeping items is the training team has grown, and we are we had a meeting this week. And I know one person is not here, but Beth Michael, there she is. Beth has joined our team. Anwar Baidoon has joined our team. And Abe Atella from counseling has joined our team. And Anwar and Abe could not be here today. So just to let you know, and again, the offer stands that if you're interested, please feel free to join us. And we really do need topics moving forward for winter, spring, and summer. So please take the time to fill out the surveys because your opinions matter. What you want to see matters. I've had some good conversations with some people that are helping shape what's coming for the future. Now, next week is a reflection. If you remember looking at your sheet that we received, our first week is reflection. I encourage you to talk to your supervisor because some groups are doing certain things, other groups are doing some other types of activities. So for next week, please talk, make sure you talk with your supervisor so you know what you're doing. Then on October 19th, we have it listed as a departmental info session. What that's going to be is it's going to be a part of student affairs, student services, because we are all so big, we can't fit everybody into 1 2-hour time slot. So we're going to focus on like student activities, like career services. So we may be coming to you to ask you to do a brief presentation. And then the other areas that aren't covered will be presented in the winter semester. So if you think you're off the hook on the 19th, you're not. We'll be asking for participants for presentations in the winter semester.
Okay.
Now, Chad's turn.
Hawk Talks, the very last thing that we do before we call it a weekend. This is your chance to give a shout out to someone, to a group. Last time we did this, I loved all the shout outs, but it was to groups, which is awesome. But is there anyone that wants to give an individual shout out to someone else who's really made their day or made their week or did something great? If he just stops talking, we can all leave. No, we want to do this. This is an important part of the process. Anybody have something they'd like to, something good that their office did, something good someone in their office did? Holly, you've got your own microphone. I don't have to bring it to you.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I would like to give a shout out to our guest speaker, Mallory. Thank you so much for your time. You provided us great information, great conversations that we had. My table, we were lively, and if you allowed us, we probably would be here until tomorrow talking.
Anybody else? Over here, Gail.
I'd like to give a shout out to student accounts, especially in the last few weeks with students trying to get enrolled in the fall semester. We've had a lot of students that, even though they might have had VA benefits that they would use to cover all their tuition and fees, they had issues with past due balances. And when I have reached out to Armida or Pandora or Kim or Donna, Sharon McAlpine, or any of the cashier's office staff, they have stood on their head to work with these students to get them their issues resolved and get them back in school. So much appreciated.
Anyone else? Wait, oh,
I just want to preface my shout out with a comment. I am the type of person that loves to see people take initiative and put forth some extra work to make a difference. And I just want to give a shout out to Sherry Clippert DeVogel. This week she spent a good amount of her time doing some research on interpersonal communications, how to engage in productive conversation. And she and I talked about her work, and we look forward to providing some presentation on that topic in the winter. So thank you, Sherry.
anybody else?
I
Holly?
have- Oops, before you. I was first. I have one. Actually, it's comes from a faculty member, but it came to me, and I really do want to acknowledge this. Sarah Sullivan. This came from Laura Yakel, and she was grateful. There was a student of ours, and those of you who work closely, all of you work closely with students, but those of you who work with our students who go abroad, who study abroad, can really relate. This student went overseas and was stranded, and they would not let her back into the country. So we've heard a lot of that, and I know, I see head shaking. We've heard a lot of that, and it's very unfortunate. So she had to choose to study elsewhere. And the university which she wanted to study at would not accept, so we were sending syllabi and things like that. They would not accept that from us. They don't understand community colleges in some countries. So Sarah went above and beyond, giving course descriptions, copies of the syllabi, stamping the college seal to make it look as official as possible, I'm told, so that they would understand. And I got news this week that the university accepted all of her credit, and she's a junior. So good job.
I would like to shout out, a big shout out to Liz Hall Knight, Anna Keyluke, Alicia Murray, and Danielle Brown for all the hard work that they've done during this one-time exception season. It's going into like one-time exception year because we have these all year long, but they've done such a good job of working with our instructors and associate deans to see if they approve the exceptions, and then contacting the students. And then when we get the form signed, then we contact cashiers who does all that work for us. So I want to thank them so much for all their hard work.
Any more? Any more shout outs? Oh, what? Okay.
I just want to take a shout out first to Beth Dorada and my entire registration team members and everybody here at the Welcome Center. I love Henry Ford. I love commencement. I don't know who knows or who doesn't know, but I am headed over to campus safety. So next Wednesday, I'm close. You can reach me, but I have loved and enjoyed working with each of you, building bridges, building connections that I plan on taking with me forever. Thank you.
Okay, last shout out. I didn't see Jeremy here, but how many people had something to do with Discover Day? How about all these folks who put together a great Discover Day? Everybody stand up real quick if you worked on Discover Day. Go ahead, stand up. Let's give them a round of applause, please. What a great event. Okay, my favorite part of training, no, I'm just kidding. We're out of here early. Everybody have a great weekend.